Nowhere is education as important as in Africa. But while school enrollment here has increased, the quality of education is still a major issue. To find out why, Transparency International has examined education sector governance in several countries.
No, government waruna, if I may put in that way.
Pupils here learn early on that the education system is not well managed. As in this South African school, facilities are often run down.
School says sisinyani sibile siyanethela wachisa jabula wachisa buladina metsi.
It's so like suffocating and stuff, so it's not good for our health.
Now teachers cannot communicate with us clearly because now the sheikhs are very noisy.
When public resources are misused and decisions are not transparent, the quality of facilities often suffers. This is what should have been the school's new campus. But site selection was influenced by local politicians and took place without full consultation. In the end, the sandy ground did not support the brick structures. Transparency International, a non-profit leading the fight against corruption, wants to improve the delivery of key services in Africa. This is the express aim of the Transparency and Integrity in Service Delivery in Africa program, also known by its acronym, TISTA. In South Africa and Cameroon, it focuses on education and found alarmingly high levels of governance and corruption risks.
All of a sudden, without our concern as a school, department is about so now our tabelu bona o etsalang ban thelete be thusitse.
Similar grievances can be heard in many African countries. 4,000 kilometers to the north, a small school in Cameroon has also seen better days. Although parents support the school with their own money, the lack of funds is evident. A concerned mother of two arrives to air her complaints.
Bon, mes doléances, il n'y a pas de salle de classe confortable. Il n'y a pas les habitations pour les maîtres. Il n'y a pas de l'eau pour les élèves.
Pauline wants the school director to improve facilities and supply textbooks. But his hands are tied too, he says. The state simply doesn't provide enough funding. Like most directors, he doesn't even know how his budget is calculated or what it should cover. Transparency International found that the teaching materials provided by the state are not sufficient for almost 80% of schools in Cameroon and for 40% in South Africa. Nor did they arrive in time for the beginning of the school year in around 90% of cases in Cameroon and 50% in South Africa. Compounding the problem, many directors also remain financially unaccountable with opaque fiscal records. In another school in Cameroon, parents are meeting with teachers. They demand to know how the school funds are managed. And Transparency International is supporting them. Gabriel Ingwe coordinates the education program in Cameroon. He welcomes the parents' initiative.
Au niveau de la participation, nous avons demandé que les parents soient beaucoup plus actifs et soient beaucoup plus participatifs.
Gabriel and his colleagues found that parents' involvement can be a driving force in improving the education of their children. But many in Cameroon suspect that funds in some schools are embezzled, a poll by Transparency International suggests. That often discourages their participation. What they need is independent information and support.
Tisda ya thusa because e khona ho latella dintho ho ile a etsahala eng, why mo hultje.
For example, it is often pointed out that the number of children in primary schools rose in recent years. But the program found that learning conditions are often very poor. In Cameroon, only 19% of the schools examined had enough toilets, and only 25% had drinking water. In South Africa, 25% of surveyed pupils say that school infrastructure was unsafe, 34% that it was inadequate. Based on such findings, demands for the education sector were formulated. Regulations must be clear and objective. On the local level, it is necessary to establish accountability structures. They are the checks and balances in school management. Therefore, transparency at all levels is necessary. How to get there? Cooperation is the key, many experts believe.
It would help if we could put systems in place to bring all those sectors of education stakeholders together.
Transparency International's efforts have helped pinpoint problems in the education sector and brought the relevant stakeholders together.
So now, Tisda ra ilebo haholo ikaka ikadula yetsa tje itswela pele.
But ultimately, the program can only identify governance problems. It is parents, teachers, principals, and regulators who have the power to make a difference for education in Africa. Working together.